I think if you'll stick around for the long haul, you're going to find that this is pretty powerful and can actually make you money. But I think that's secondary in my mind in terms of importance, because I think the ability that this will give you will make you make money. So you can make as much money as your creativity allows you to. But I just want to show you how this works because it's kind of cool. So I hope you stick around. I think it'll be worth your time. I know it's starting off kind of slow. So let's say that you have a conversation with a business owner and you are willing to offer up the service of creating customized applications for their business. Not because you know what you're doing, but because you believe you're smart enough to figure it out. And I think that's how I jumped into this. I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't. But I know that I am getting better at whatever the heck this is that I'm doing every day. And it's turning into a really good and fun business. And I think you're going to see that there's a lot of opportunity for you to do the same thing. But so let's say I just met with this business owner and he explains to me that he's been in business since the 1980s and they do this process still with notebooks and notepads and pull a ticket and, print it or send it on a fax. So not every business today in the world is like running on cutting edge technology. Everybody is always thinking about those that are on the cutting edge, where I think the competition is the highest. Why? Because, where there's a lot of big corporate names, you got a lot of fanfare and a lot of noise. And I'm not saying it's not appropriate, but it doesn't show you the full picture of the potential that's out there in the world. And then there's a lot of towns across America that aren't big towns, and they have little businesses that have paper and notebook processes that were started in the 1960s and 70s, 80s, and even in the 90s before the internet was a real thing, and they're happy to run their business that way, but they're realizing that they've got boxes and boxes and shelves full of records that they don't want to keep up with, and they know that there's a smarter way to do it with technology, but they don't want to go and buy big expensive software like Microsoft Dynamics or a big ERP system, but they do know what they need to keep track of, and they know how to do it really well, and they could make you a map if you ask them for it. And so these are opportunities where you can find clients that might be needing your services and what you're about to be able to do. And I'm going to show you how this would work. So let's say you go in and you meet with a client and they tell you that they ship out these materials on these days, and on every single one of those trucks they have to have a log, a manifest, or bill of lading, or whatever the document that they tell you that they have to have, because a lot of these businesses have forms. And so you're recording this, you're in this meeting with them, and you're asking them all these little questions about how they get their information, and you have to think through it. You got to be smart about it. You don't go in there like you like an ignorant. You have to be thinking, okay, and perhaps even try to predict what their next word is going to be, because you're thinking about what they're telling you. You have to put your mind into what they're telling you. And when you do that, you find out that, okay, they're going to track the truckload and the weight. They're going to the quantity of material that's on the truckload, the certifications or the badges that need to be displayed. There's all kinds of little things that businesses have to keep track of for reasons you don't even know, but they have their own reasons. And so you're asking them all these questions, and you're actually paying attention to what they're telling you, but you're also recording it as an MP3. Why? Because you're going to transcribe every single word of that conversation over to text. And that text you're going to feed into something that I call a meeting distiller. And a meeting distiller is simply a customized chat GPT that then asks certain questions of the information that you give it, which will be the transcripts to every word that was spoken with your client. It will turn that meeting into exactly deliverables, dates, commitments made, everything about that you have to know in order to deliver a product that will be useful to them, meaning software that will solve their need, is going to be in that document. And from the meeting distiller, now you have a list of deliverables and what the system's supposed to do. You should be talking about the system because what you're offering them is a possible option of building a customized system around what they're doing. So then when you finish with the meeting distiller and it turns that conversation into action items and software descriptions, you take that to another custom, which we call the VibeBuilderStudio. The VibeBuilderStudio is a two-part system where you take a conversation's transcripts and the actionable items and you put it into the VibeStudio Veeb maker. The Veeb is basically a seed, and that seed contains the DNA for the software that you're going to build. It has everything that you mentioned that the software needed to do. That came out of the conversation with your client. You didn't have to type anything unless you just thought you thought of a great way to arrange it. But generally the AI is smart enough to come up with a really good way to arrange it. So once you do that, you put it into the VibeBuilderStudio and you tell it something like, let's do one for instance. We're going to do it right now. Build a software for a lawn care business that keeps track of the yards and captures photos and calendar details. Include a calendar and a flow chart, drag and drop tile feature. Also a CRM for customer records. Okay, that's about it. You don't need to make it even all that fancy. That's about it. Track it. And then we say, let's go. This is going to create a recipe around the concept that you just gave it. This is the recipe that's going to tell it how to build the software you just described. This is called a Veeb, and it's automatically produced by the VibeBuilderStudio Custom GPT. Okay, you can even just download it. Once you got it downloaded, you know where it's at. Copy. We're going to use that to load it into the VibeBuilderStudio, which I don't even have open right now. That's funny. Why not? Okay. And we're going to go on the back end of it. And the VibeBuilderStudio is right here. So, what are we going to build? What do we call that thing? Lawn Care Service Manager. How original. Just copy that right out of there. Copy. Come over here, drop it in there. Okay. I'm going to just go with a simple in this case, which breaks it into 3 different compartments. 1 PHP file, 1 assets folder, and 2 folders inside there, JS and CSS, where the JavaScript and the CSS files go. And then we got to go to our Vibe. This is the Lawn Care Pro, and the one we're doing now, what did we call that? It was in the desktop. That's not what I meant to do. Stop. Rats. Is it downloads? Yeah, right there. Lawn Care Manager. That's it. We're going to go with Grok. And we have already set the key in there. But there's a place to set the key over here. We'll look at that in a minute. No special instructions because we're just going to let it run like it is. So that's it. Okay, it says it's being initiated, and we can look at it in the review builds page. So that's where we're going to go to see it. You don't see it over here anymore. You don't even come back here anymore. At this point, you just go to here. So it's in the status of generating. And once it's done generating, it's going to look like something like this. And it's going to show all the files. And then we have to go through each file. We don't have to, but you can, to review them and then approve them. And then hit update, approve, update, update. And I may add the feature of doing them all at once, because really, what are you doing when you're looking through them? You don't know what you're looking at. Just approve it. It's going to work. So then here's some other options that I built into it, thinking down the road. I think that this would be kind of cool to set up a store where you can sell your own apps that you just built by the click of a button. So what I'm thinking is maybe you'll have the ability to essentially just have an account, and when your account is registered, you can list your apps in the store, and maybe for a small fee or a percentage of the transaction. I don't know. We'll see what makes sense, what's fair. But I think it would be really cool to actually have a store where everybody can just build stuff and sell it right there on the spot. Literally like a gigantic marketplace where everybody can sell whatever they just built. You'd have an app for just about anything. You'd probably have about 1,000 different choices at it too. But I think that, let evolution make the best one survive, right? So it could be like a legit Amazon rainforest, but I'm calling it the Vibe App Exchange. Who knows? Whatever. It's just an idea. I love ideas. Preview combined files. So this is where you can see everything thrown together. And this is really close to being installable at this point. It's not perfect. It's not arranged. It's not modularized. It's not done. It's like a gigantic, like the layout. It's all the files run together. And it's actually very useful because you can take all of this out at once and plop it into the next AI that's going to clean it up and turn it into the deliverable. And that is when you get the magic. Because this is like really good. This is like, essentially you got all the DNA spread out everywhere. But you got to contain it into something nice, which is the program. So from that point on, you either copy it out of here or you can download it all. And downloading it as a zip. So that's where you take your files and turn them into an installable. I've had one or two come out of here and install right out of the gate, but they were very, very simple. So when you start building complex code, you're going to have to dissect it and you're going to have to clean it up a little bit. But I have not seen this take very long. Like I'm literally, let's see where we're at. If we can do this one together, it could be fun. Let's refresh this page. Okay, we got something. So now we're in review. These are all the files related to what we just built. And honestly, we're not going to go through them and eat them up and look through them. We're just going to approve them all. So let's do it. We'll probably get rid of that as a step at some point. But you do actually have to approve them. Otherwise, it won't give you the green light. It's kind of, it seems like a good idea. I don't know that I like it. Seems like it could be automatic. See, I just feel like I'm doing nothing. Oh, I've already did that. What am I doing? I need to be up here. I hope I fast forward this on the video. Okay, let's download the whole thing. Microsoft thinks it's a security risk. Why? Because it's not like some fancy well-known site. Whatever. It's just a darn file. Where'd it go? Yeah, there. All right. So it's going to have a folder within a folder, and then another folder, and these are the only two you really need to care about. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and extract them all. but I'll show you what I mean. These are the only two that matter, the includes and the PHP file, the main one. All right, let's do this way. Come on, where'd you go? Where'd you go, man? Love that. It's my favorite. Where's the damn folder? Mierda. Extract all, damn it. You know what? I'm going to put you somewhere else. That isn't it. Son of a... That's not it. That's not it. Where's my 150 at? That's it. These two. This should have two. Oh, it's got more. Didn't realize I had that many. Okay. I hate when it does in Cuban. This one's not going to run. It might. You never know. Let's try it out. Lawn Care Service Manager. Let's load it up. Where are we going to put it? Let's put it right here. Probably get a fatal error, but we'll see. Sometimes it doesn't. Ha! Look at that. Where'd it go? Lawn Care Pro. Customers. Jobs. Calendar. Okay. Well, we got somewhere we can start. Interesting. Needs a modal. But look at that. Cool. That's it. That's what I wanted to show you. Hope it wasn't too boring. But you can build stuff like this. And from this point on, you just keep on building. You just open up the files and you keep on changing them up. That's about the big picture of it. There's more details, but that'll come later.